Viewers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Teach Me How to Cook. I am Diana Master. Today we're switching things up just a tiny bit here. As you can see, I'm not in the kitchen per se, I'm outside because the meal that we're going to be making is a quick fix meal. It's one of my favorite go-tos after maybe like a tough workout session. Let's say maybe you're even feeling lazy but you need something that's going to fill you up. So take a wild guess what we are making. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but I can tell you it involves folding. So I'm pretty sure by now you know what we're making. Yes, today we are making wraps. I am going to be making a tuna wrap. Very simple, very easy, few ingredients, cheap, quick, and on the go. So we will be right back as we get into how we can prep our ingredients for a delicious tuna wrap. As you saw, I washed my hands because we always have to start with clean hands. Now let's get into our ingredients. Alright, so of course my favorite, we need some lettuce. This is the mixed leaf salad, but you can choose whatever lettuce you prefer, whatever leafy greens that you prefer. So this is my lettuce. It has been washed, it's been cleaned, alrighty. And then of course some shredded tuna, it's been drained already. So that's that, it's been drained, okay. And then we're going to have some Greek yogurt. Now you're probably wondering, where's this Greek yogurt going to go? Well, that is going to be my base for the wrap. And then of course some sweet chili sauce, some cucumber, some tomato. Alright, and of course the most important ingredient, the wraps. Now for these you can choose whatever, and I like this brand particularly because it gives us like a wide variety. There's your gluten-free, there's your beetroot. My personal favorite is the sun-dried tomato and basil, but I couldn't get that today, so I'll settle for the second best, which is the beetroot. But you can also get other brands. I know some other brands make the beetroot wraps are very purple, so it just depends on the brand that you get. And also again, you can use your whole wheat wraps, you can use your white wraps, whatever it is that you prefer. Alright, so now that we have all of that, now we do need to chop up our ingredients. Alright, so stick around, we will be right back. Now that you have your ingredients laid out, now it's time to get to the fun part, alright? So we start by opening up our wraps. And what I like about wraps is you can actually keep them in for a bit more time. Yeah, you can keep them longer in the freezer. Yeah, you just freeze them up. So I don't have a kitchen scissors, but you know, we do what we can here. Alright, so as I was saying earlier, the good thing about wraps is that you can buy them and then you can freeze them, and then you will have them for a bit more time. Alright, okay, so that's how it looks. This is a beetroot one. I know the color seems a bit odd, but trust me, it's delicious. Alright, so we'll lay that there on the plate. So I am going to make 2 wraps because I think we have more than enough filling. And, oh yeah, this is all real, guys. I think maybe it's because I opened with the knife and not with the scissors. But yeah, okay. So these are gonna go in the freezer. Whenever you need them, you can just pop them out, defrost them. Make sure when you are defrosting them, you put them on the defrost setting on the microwave. Don't just pop it in the microwave and heat it up. No, that's gonna mess with the consistency. So what you need to do is, I usually put it on for about 1.5 minutes on the defrost setting, because you don't want it hot, you don't want it warm. Alright. Cool. Start with our cucumber. I don't know about you guys. I don't like this. I don't vibe with this. Okay. So we're just going to dice that up. Also, as you can see, it's only open up until this part. That's because I washed this part. Okay. And the thing with wraps is you just eyeball the ingredients. I don't normally measure. It's usually just like an eyeball. Like, yeah, I think that's enough. Okay. So I like to cut my cucumber in halves. Okay. If you want, you can make them into quarters. You can cut them however you want. Then we get to our tomato. Okay. You need to be absolutely careful here. As you can see, it's a bit of a, it's not as sharp as I'd like it to be, but it is quite sharp. Okay. And that's how I slice my tomato. I don't know about you guys. So the reason wraps are a go-to for me is because, first of all, I like the convenience. I like the fact that it's quick. I like the fact that it's easy. And I like the fact that it's healthy. Okay? So you really just get a lot of the benefits. Even my daughter, I make these for her in her school lunchbox. Alright, so as you can see here, the tomato cucumber ratio is not all that great, so we just need a bit more cucumber. Chop that up. Chop it up, chop it up. Okay. And as you can see, you don't even need a stove or anything, but if you do like, you can always stir fry your tuna. What I usually do is, if I have time, I will stir fry it with some green pepper, but we don't have time today. Alright, and then of course we get to our lettuce. Now the reason I like this is because, I don't know, I think maybe it's just the shape, and also I think I'm just a bit lazy. Alrighty, so we get our lettuce out. Okay. And then what I usually just do is just roughly chop it up. Okay, you see, just like that. So it's just rough chopping. You don't need that there. Roughly chop it up. Again, you're eyeballing the ingredients. You know what? Might as well use the rest of it. Okay, then I'm gonna move it to a plate. Okay. Cool. So these are ingredients, and then of course we have to cover the leftover cucumber. This is going to go back in the fridge. Okay, so we do need to cover it up. Okay, our tuna. I should have gotten a bigger bowl to mix this up, but you know what, it's cool, it's fine. So there's the tuna. Okay, it just looks like a tuna salad. I know, but it's not. We're getting there. All right, now you are wondering earlier, where is this Greek yogurt going to come into play? Well, I like to use the Greek yogurt as part of the filling, as the base of the filling. I'm just gonna open it up. Look at that. Look at how creamy it is. Now for this, you can use whatever you prefer. You can use mayonnaise, you can use salad dressing, whatever it is that you like. I prefer Greek yogurt. It's much healthier. Yogurt is natural, probiotic, pH balance, whatnot. You can read up on all the benefits of Greek yogurt. So that's why I like that. All right. Viewers, get the spoons. Yes, I just dashed and got those. Got some mayonnaise because we are making two different wraps. Some salt and some cheddar. Now with the filling, you can go as crazy. Oh, and I added this bowl as well. Remember I did say that this one was a bit small, so I don't want to make a mess. I don't want to make too much of a mess. All right, so I'm just going to pour that in there. Okay. Now the thing with wraps and filling is you can get as creative as you want. I also like to add some pineapple. Yeah, I know, it's because I also eat pineapple on pizza, and I know that's controversial to some. So I do like to add some pineapple on my wraps, but I didn't get that today. So today it's just going to be, you know, our simple tuna. And for this part as well, you can add some salad dressing if you do like salad dressing, but I'm not going to add salad dressing. I am going to add some sweet chili sauce later on. All right, so now we get our frozen yogurt. We get our Greek yogurt. Just stir that up just a tiny bit. Okay, and then you're just going to put a glob of it there, and we are going to spread it out. You really want to be generous with this. Now the thing with wraps is, as much as they are quick and easy, they are a bit messy, so you do have to be careful when you put in the filling. What I like about these ones is it does come with instructions on how to roll a burrito. You can also, I'll show you my favorite technique to wrap up. It's not necessarily burrito style, but you also have the open style, the open tortilla. You do have different folding styles, and for those you can always just check them out online, see which one works best for you. Now because I am somebody that does like a bit of salt, I know tuna does come with salt already, but the tomatoes, the lettuce and the cucumber doesn't. So we are just going to sprinkle some of that in there. I feel like I want to add just a tiny bit of mayonnaise. Okay, I'm going to wash the spoon. Shake it up. Now this is what I was saying, that for this part you can add some salad dressing, you know, whether it's a Greek salad dressing or whatever it is, whatever you prefer. But because we are making these healthy, not too much mayonnaise. You can also use a good substitute is also canola mayonnaise. That I find also works amazing. It's all dependent on the style. I absolutely love the smell of tuna. I don't know guys, maybe I'm not normal. And again, if you want to make this a bit more filling, you can add some boiled eggs in there. Remember what I said, when it comes to filling, be as creative as you want. You can substitute the tuna for beef, for chicken, shrimp, whatever it is that you have on hand. And then of course add some boiled eggs in there if you'd like. I totally forgot about that, that's why I didn't boil eggs earlier. But okay, so now that that's done, you see it's not too creamy, because when we bite into the wrap we don't want to dripping all over. We don't want to make too much of a mess. Alright, so now what we do is we scoop up. Ooh, look at those colors. I love me a colorful dish. Okay, so the trick with this is not to fill it up all the way, because we will have trouble wrapping it up later. Alright, so we have that in there. I think that's about enough. Sweet chili, I absolutely love me some sweet chili. Okay, so if I weren't on camera I would have used my teeth already, but because I'm on camera I do have to, you know, come across as a bit demure and a bit cutesy. Okay, so we're just going to drizzle that as much as you want. Okay, so because these are a bit larger than the other wraps. Okay, so now comes the fun part. This is how I fold. Okay, so I start here. Okay, and then I wrap it up here, I wrap it up here, and then I go all the way. Okay, so I did say it would get messy, but you see, just like that. It is a bit open, but you can always cut that up, you can always fold it in should you prefer that. Okay, now these are breaking up, but this is why I like this paper, because then you can always just wrap it up like this, and then when you're ready to eat you can eat that. So that's one wrap done. Easy, fast, quick, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. Alright, let's get to the second wrap. Alright, now this one is for picky eater, so I'm going to whisper what I say, and then you can keep that. Because you know, with kids we do have to trick them into eating their veggies and their fruits, right? So I need to wash this. I feel like there's the mayonnaise. Alright, now that's clean. Another absolute essential for the kitchen is paper towel. I can't do much without my paper towel. But again, spread that out. Okay. More filling. Again, you don't want to put too much, and I like to keep it in the middle there. Makes it easier when we do wrap it up. Okay. Now we get to our wrapping. I'm just going to scooch this down. Okay. So I know it looks a bit small, but look at that. This one came out much better, maybe because it's not for me, but look at that. Ooh. Okay. So obviously the trick when you eat is to be very demure with it. Maybe because it's not for me, that's why it came out much better and perfect. So what I am going to do is wrap that up a bit more, close up all our ingredients. Because again, even though it is not a kitchen, it still needs to be a kitchen. I totally forgot about the cheese. But yeah, you can also sprinkle some cheese on there if you'd like. But since we've already closed up the wrap, it's okay. We can just put it on the side or whatever, right? So close up our cucumber. We seal this back. All of this is obviously going to go back in the refrigerator. All right, our dirty dishes. Now the fun part about cooking is you get to eat up the leftovers. I just love tuna. I'm going to put a bit of sweet chili. I don't know, I think tuna, Greek yogurt. This is delicious. Now you see I didn't put sweet chili on this one. And like I said, it's for a picky eater. And you are going to see her little later on if she enjoys her wrap with me. Alright. Here on Teach Me How to Cook, we don't believe in wasting food. Okay? And because none of this is going back anywhere, you can just eat. Pack away our dirty dishes. Put the leftovers aside nicely. And just like that, we are going to devour our wraps. Now I'm going to have a tough little critic here to tell me how she finds these wraps, so stick around for that. Alrighty, so now we're just going to, I am going to set the table for this special picky guest. Alright, some wine glasses, and I'm going to pour. And yes, I know I'll probably get a lot of heat for this, but trust me, this is not an everyday occurrence. I do try to minimize the Coke intake, the soda intake, so clearly see I haven't worked in a restaurant before, because why am I pouring Coca-Cola like that? So usually I'll go to drink is either fruit juice or Orange or Mazoe. I try to stay away from fizzy drinks because we all know they're not healthy. Alright, so I'm just going to put that away. And then now I'm going to take a seat and I'm going to welcome my very special guest. Alright. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Good. Alright, so we're going to be having wraps today. Are you excited? She did wash her hands off camera. Alright?
Yeah.
Cheers. And then we're gonna good to me, but because she doesn't really like soup and sauce, it becomes an issue. So that's what I'm saying. You do have to ask your kids, okay, what do you like? What do you prefer? And then yes, you still need to try to get them, you need to be sneaky about them eating their veggies, excuse me, and their fruits as well. This is a tried and tested method for me to get my daughter to eat her veggies in a wrap. You just put them in a wrap and then yeah, she'll eat them. So like I said, whatever it is that you have on hand, you can make use of and use it as a filling for the wrap. Tuna, chicken, beef, whatever it is you have on hand. If you're more of the vegetarian, then you can always use eggs. I use hard-boiled eggs. If you are more on the vegan side, you can find whatever it is, maybe whatever meat substitute you like, whatever it is you want to use for your wraps. Anything and everything works, really and truly. But anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Teach Me How to Cook with a very special guest, Navea. How are you liking your wrap?
It's really good. Thanks to my best one ever. It is love to you.
Am I a great chef? So now from now on, everything that I cook, you're going to eat?
Yeah, but now it's soup.
Why don't you like soup?
Soup just doesn't have the texture.
What texture? What do you know about texture?
Texture, I think, is texture. So soup tastes really good. Potato soup tastes that's very nice. And even thinking how to cook, but I think I should learn use of you.
Okay.
So you can teach me.
I will teach you how to cook. So again, wraps, fun food to take on picnics. If we had a picnic blanket, we would have set that out and had a cute little mommy daughter picnic. But for now, this will have to do. I am Diana Master, joined by Navea Marie. This has been another fantastic episode of Teach Me How to Cook, where we made a quick, simple, delicious, easy, healthy meal. As long as it's healthy, as long as it requires less effort, count me in. Count me in. So like I said, you can always have these post-gym, post-workout. If you're in a hurry, if you just want something to fill up your lunchbox. You don't always have to buy wraps, you see? Now you can make your own and you get to choose what you put on your wrap. Alright, viewers, until next time, this has been Teach Me How to Cook. Let's say bye.